Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to the 25 Days of Cricut Cheer. I'm excited for this video today because I'm going to be making a little Santa tray for my kids so that we can have a place to set out the milk and cookies and some little snacks for Santa and his reindeer this year. So I saw this idea and I think it's genius. So while you see a lot of people doing this on big wood rounds or big wood trays, I saw somebody do this on a placemat. And honestly, this is genius for me because I have so much Christmas decor. It's unreal. And I have so many boxes and bins full of Christmas decor. And for me, this is so much more practical in terms of just folding it up at the end of the year. You fold it up just like this, and then it takes up this much space. So if you need to have a little bit of a smaller option, this is so much easier than storing a big round wood tray. And honestly, I like this a little bit better too. So I'm just going to show you how you can use iron-on to do a little Santa tray on a placemat. I love the storage idea of this, plus I love the soft feel that it's going to provide. I found this placemat on Amazon. Super pretty. I love it. It has little eyelets around the trim. So I'm going to, when I get my measurement, I'm just going to measure for the inside of this. So I'll do that in just a moment. So for other materials, we just have our EasyPress mat. We're going to use the 9x9 EasyPress 2. And then I also have a roll of iron-on. This is Caesar Easyweed. I love it. I believe this color is called Cadet Green, but I will be sure to link it in the description box below in the video where you'll see also all the other materials in case you want to recreate this look yourself. And then I have a weeding tool. I'm going to be using my Cricut Maker just because of the size. You could do this on any machine. You might just have to cut it in smaller increments if you're using the Cricut Joy. Okay, let me get a quick measurement for my little placemat so I know how much room I have to work with for my design. So again, it has a little eyelet trim that I want to avoid pressing on, especially because it's just a really pretty border too that I want to showcase for itself. So I'm just going to do measurement from that innermost part of that trim, and that is 16 inches by about 10 3/4. So let's use that measurement when we go into Design Space. Let's head on in there and I'm going to show you how you can find pre-made Santa tray SVGs. They're in Design Space and there's a lot to choose from, so you're bound to find something that you like, and I'll show you which one I really love.
Okay, so what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to come over to the shapes and create that little working space as a template for sizing my design. So remember that measurement that I got for my little placemat. I'm just going to type that measurement in here. So I had a width of 16 inches and I had a height of 10 3/4, so 10.75. And so this is the area that I have to work with. I'll go ahead and just make that white. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to images, and then I am going to be in image set. So if this pops up, you're just going to come in to image sets, which is just the bottom in the highlighted categories. It's that bottom option, image sets. And then I'm going to search in image sets and I'm just going to say Santa tray. And then there is quite a few options. So they have two image sets full of them. So this one's Santa snacks, and then the top one is for Santa trays, and that has 15 images in it. So I'm going to go ahead and click the top one because I know the one in this one is the one I'm going to use. And there are so many beautiful ones. I cannot believe how many beautiful ones are in here. This is brand new this year. And then I found that I liked this one the best. I thought this was so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, and I'm going to say insert images. And then all I have to do is, since it's already one file, you can see it's one layer, all I have to do is size it for my design. So, or for my little placemat. So I am going to size it. I'm thinking I want to stay at about 14 inches, and then I can unlock this and actually make this a little bit longer. And let's do right about there. So I'm at about 14 by 9 inches roughly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lock that back up. I can go ahead and also delete or hide this template because I no longer need it. I just wanted to make sure that I could size it appropriately. And then I'm going to go ahead and select my Cricut Maker. Again, you could do this on any cutting machine. If you want to do this on a Joy, I would recommend slicing apart these layers. So you could slice apart the carrots, slice the milk, slice the cookies, and then cut this in one long piece as well. And that would work. If you need a tutorial on slicing, I'll put one up in the corner for you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select Make It. And then it's going to tell me I'm going to need my 12 by 24 mat, which is just fine. And I will say okay. Since I'm working with iron-on, I'm going to mirror my image, and then I'm going to select Continue. Even though this is Caesar Easy Weed, I'm going to go ahead and use the Everyday Iron-On setting because that seems to work the best. So I'm going to select that. It's going to remind me to make sure mirror is turned on, which it is, and then to load the material shiny side down on the mat. Let's get going.
Okay, so I have my material loaded and it is shiny side down, face down on the mat. So you'll just locate the shinier side and place that face down. And then I'm just going to use my brayer tool to make sure that it is really flat on the mat. And then we can go ahead and load it into our machine. So I'm going to go ahead and just open up my machine here and load it and get cutting. Okay, so this is all done cutting. I'm going to go ahead and unload my mat, and then I'm going to turn my mat over and then just gently peel that mat away from my HTV. I am going to go ahead and just trim off my extra, and then I'm going to go ahead and begin weeding. So I'm just going to grab a corner here and then slowly just start peeling away everything that I do not want in my design. So I like to start with all of the surrounding area, and then I go in and do the letters next. One thing I'm noticing about my design is there's a lot of negative space in the middle of these little rectangles. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my True Control knife and I'm going to cut that out so I can save that HTV because I love this color and I have lots of plans for this holiday season. So every little bit counts. As you guys know, I love to use lots of little scraps on my channel. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut and save as much as I can. That way I don't waste any. That's a very big piece in my opinion, and I have 3 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and set these to the side and save them in my scrap bin so that I can reuse it. Okay, so now that I have that out of the way, I'm really happy with that because I love this color. You want to make sure you save what you want before you weed it out. So I just got that right in the nick of time, and now I can continue weeding knowing I saved as much as I could. Okay, so I am super thankful that I did this in iron-on because there's a lot of little pieces to this, and I love iron-on. I think it's a little bit more forgiving and easier to weed than adhesive vinyl. So still doable with adhesive vinyl, but I think that iron-on is definitely more manageable for the weeding portion of this. So I'm going to go through and just weed out the little middle pieces here, and I think this is going to turn out really, really cute. Let me know if you guys set out anything like this as a little board or little tray or place area for Santa. I think this is going to be a fun little addition to our tradition. Another tradition that we do is we leave Santa Bailey's Irish cream, and it's a really fun little tradition we've started, you know, just to keep them warm. Just a little whiskey. So we set that out instead of milk with our cookies. It's always been kind of a fun little thing to do. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep weeding out all these little pieces. One great thing is that these are all repetitive, so once you have the first one down, then you really know where to look for the second and the third. It makes it very, very easy. I'm also going to pause weeding for a moment to set my EasyPress. So I need to set my EasyPress to 305, and it's going to press for 10 to 15 seconds. It's going to be a hot or cold peel, and we're going to use medium pressure. So I'm going to go ahead and let that preheat as I finish up just weeding out the middles, and I'll be done in just a second. Okay, so I'm just finishing up, oh, just in time too. I'm just finishing up my last little pieces, and the bottom is where there's really tiny little middles to letters and tiny, tiny letters. So that's why I'm thankful I did the iron on, because this would be a little stressful with regular adhesive vinyl. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure I don't have any remaining pieces that needed to be weeded out. What I like to do and what I've built into my workflow is I like to just turn over my design, and then I like to just take my weeding tool and scan over the design, and I'm seeing a little tiny piece in my art. And by scanning over with my weeding tool, it kind of allows my eye to just focus on one area at a time instead of the entire design. So I just go one at a time and make sure my eye just tracks my weeding tool. And then I just make sure that everything is weeded out and that there's no pieces that have been weeded out that are still on the sheet. So there's just a little piece here. If you leave any of these pieces, if they stay on your sheet, they will press on to your project. So you want to make sure that you get all of those off as well. So just be diligent with this part so that you don't forget anything. Okay, and I think I am good. Okay, now what I'm going to do is remove my mat. I'm just going to push my machine back here a little bit. I'm going to remove my mat because I'm going to place my EasyPress mat in its place, and the EasyPress gets rather warm, so I don't like having my craft mat under there. So I'll set my design to the side here, and then I will get my placemat in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am first and foremost going to place my EasyPress over my mat, and I am just going to go ahead and preheat the material. It does two things. It removes any moisture that could have been in the material, and it also helps to just iron it out to make sure that it's nice and flat and ready to be pressed on. I don't know about you, but wrinkles drive me crazy. And this is a little wrinkly. Okay, so that is about good. Now I'm just going to place my press over here, and then I'm going to have to move in sections here, but I'm going to put it right in the middle to start just so I can get my design all centered. Oh, that's going to be so cute. I love it. And I love the design of the placemat. I think it's so pretty. Okay, so fairly easy to line up. You can certainly grab a measuring tape as well if you want to get it just so, but I'm usually super good with my eye, and that looks good to me. Okay, so I'm just going to press that down. It has a sticky back, so it helps keep it in place really nicely. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shift it over here to the right a little bit so that I have my first about three or 2/3, I guess, about 2/3 on my mat, and I can start pressing. I should have grabbed my bigger EasyPress, but I didn't, but that's okay. I can just press this in sections. So again, 305 for 10 to 15 seconds. I usually do the longer of the two, so I'm just going to go ahead. It says to use medium pressure. Okay, and once it is beeped, I'm just going to move it down and do the second little part and press it again. Okay, and then what I can do is I will just take my design and move it over this way, and I will start pressing the last two little sections. Okay, now that I've done all 4 sections, whoops, I am going to go ahead and turn over my placemat. Now this is not something that is in the directions for the Caesar Easy Weed, but this is just part of my workflow for working with Cricut. So I just like to go ahead and press for 15 seconds on the back as well, just to ensure that it's really on there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 4 sections once again on the back. Okay, so I pressed it on the front and then I flipped it over and did an additional 15 seconds on the back, and now it has cooled down. Again, this is a hot or cold peel, but between the two I usually just do a cool peel. And I'm just going to take a corner and monitor all of my areas as I'm peeling up to make sure that nothing is coming up as I take away this transfer sheet, and it looks like everything has laid down really good. If not, just put this sheet right back over your design and press again, and it's bound to lay down. So this looks really good. I love this color. It's just a really nice Christmassy green. So pretty. Okay. There we go. Oh my gosh, I love how this turned out. This is so pretty. And I'm really in love with the idea that I can just fold this really small and put it with all of my Christmas decor, and my husband's going to be thrilled with that as well. Anyway, I'm glad that this is going to be really, really small and nice. So let me know if you guys love decorating for Christmas as well. Let me know how you guys think this turned out. I think it's really, really sweet. Again, it says cookies. These are my favorites. You can put your favorite cookies there. Milk in case you're thirsty, and carrots for the reindeer. I think that's so cute. And I think the size worked out really nice, and I really like that eyelet embellishment on the sides of this little placemat. All right, everyone, please be sure to share these videos so that everyone knows we are crafting for 25 days in a row for Christmas over here. I'm having so much fun creating this content, and I hope you're enjoying it just as much as I'm enjoying crafting it. All right, everyone, let me know what you think, and I'll see you all in the next video.